just kill your opponents with damage when you can poison them and steal their best cards along the way. With Ixhel, we're spreading poison counters like wildfire, and once our opponents are corrupted, their decks become our weapons. Ixhel Scion of Atraxa has Flying, Vigilance, and Toxic too. The corrupted ability has, at the beginning of your end step, each opponent who has 3 or more poison counters exiles the top card of their library face down. You may look at and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. This deck's game plan is simple but deadly. Get poison counters on every opponent until they hit the fatal 10, and in the meantime, use Ixhel's corrupted ability to steal their cards. Those stolen spells and permanents help fuel our control, ramp, or threats to keep us ahead. To get this deck rolling, you need reliable ways to spread poison counters early and often. Fast and somewhat evasive creatures with poison, infect, or toxic abilities is what this section is all about. Ilia's Skulldweller. Now, the earlier that you can get this card out into the battlefield, the better. Especially if your opponents don't have blockers just yet, just to deal some early poison damage. Blight Mamba. This one has Infect and a built-in safety net with its regeneration to make it a really sneaky poison dealer that can be really hard to remove. Crawling Chorus is also just a small menace that just doesn't quit. When it dies, it leaves behind a toxic 1 might. Flensing Raptor. This one is just a quick airborne threat that can slip past defenses and just keep adding poison counters from above. Bliss's Retriever. This offers more toxic potential, but when it dies, it also gives the added benefit of exiling itself to return cards from your graveyard based on how many opponents have 3 or more poison counters, giving you both offense and some card advantage. Necrogen Rot Priest. This one boosts your toxic creatures by giving them Death Touch and adds extra poison counters whenever they deal combat damage, helping you corrupt opponents even faster. Paladin of Predation. This one is a hard to block threat that delivers a massive chunk of poison counters in one hit. It's either great for closing out games or bringing a player into corrupted range faster. Pestilent Siphoner. Overall, just cheap, evasive, and perfect for getting those early poison counters on the board. Phyrexian Swarmlord starts churning out infect tokens on each of your turns based on how many poison counters your opponents already have, making it really easy to overwhelm the table with more poisoners. Plague Nurse. This one is a toxic creature in itself, but it gives the added benefit of upgrading your other toxic creatures to deal even more poison counters. Plague Stinger is a flying infect creature that helps apply poison counters early, and its evasion makes it an effective low-cost set piece. Skrelv Defector Mite. This one gives another creature toxic and hexproof until end of turn, and it grants that creature evasion for a chosen color. It's great for protecting key attackers and spreading more poison. Skrelv's Hive. This one is just great to add more poisoners to the board. Plus, if your opponents are corrupted, your toxic creatures gain lifelink, helping you recover some life if you need it. A Venerated Rot Priest. This creature punishes opponents with a poison counter whenever a creature you control is targeted by a spell. Venomous Brutalizer has a great toxic potential if you can get the damage through. It also has an ability that lets you proliferate when it enters the battlefield, making it pretty useful in this deck. Viridian Corruptor is another creature that can help get poison counters onto opponents, and it also destroys target artifact when entering the battlefield, making it a versatile tool overall. Vishgraz Doomhive. It's a deadly Phyrexian insect with menace and toxic. When Vishgraz enters, it drops 3 1/1 might tokens that spread poison, so they keep advancing your strategy. Vishgraz grows as your opponents accumulate the poison counters, turning poison into power. Whispering Spectre. This one is just another great poisoner, but it has the added benefit of sacrificing it to make an opponent discard cards in their hand. The higher the poison counters they have, the more cards they have to get rid of. It's just a great shutdown to a problematic opponent. Wormquake, a corrupted spell that creates a giant worm token and additional worms for each opponent that's also corrupted. Great for extra poison opportunities. Once your poisoners have done their job, these cards take over, incrementing poison counters bit by bit until your opponents suddenly realize they're in lethal range. Agent Frank Corrigan is a powerful proliferator. It can proliferate twice when it enters and twice when it attacks. Blightbelly Rat spreads poison while it's on the board, but when it's removed, it helps push those counters even further with a proliferate trigger. Floated Contaminator is also another great poisoner, but it allows you to proliferate every time it makes contact with an opponent. Rimaz, Blight of Oreskos. This one supports your toxic and corrupted game plan by creating incubator tokens that can be transformed into Phyrexians whenever you cast artifact or Phyrexian spells. But the powerful ability comes from when a Phyrexian you control dies, you get to proliferate on the end step. Cankerbloom gives versatile utility, whether you can sacrifice it to destroy an artifact or enchantment or to proliferate. It's great for removing potential pieces that might be shutting you down or ramping up the poison counters. Contagion Clasp. Now this one adds a -1/-1 counter to a creature when it enters, but its real strength is in its activated ability. Pay mana to proliferate again and again. It's a great long-term value engine for increasing poison counters turn after turn. Evolution Sage. This one is just another great continual proliferator because whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, Evolution Sage triggers. Expand the Sphere. Now this one can technically also go into the mana ramp section, but it has the powerful condition that if you didn't hit the 2 lands, you can proliferate equal to the difference. Grateful Apparition. This one is a cheap but effective card, allowing you to consistently proliferate. Metastatic Evangel. It's a board-friendly proliferate engine because every time you cast another non-token creature, it triggers a proliferate. Tremel Seymour's Butler. This one gives your non-token creatures an extra +1/+1 counter when they enter. But the real kicker is that it can proliferate based on how many creatures you've played this turn. Since the creatures are so cheap in this deck, it can help you proliferate numerous times in just 1 turn. Urban Daggertooth. This one, whenever it's dealt damage, it allows you to proliferate. This section is about keeping your hand full so you do not run out of steam, whether it's drawing from corrupted opponents, cashing in on creatures, or just classic black draw spells. We've got plenty of tools to stay ahead. Feed the Infection helps draw you cards and has a little bit of a bonus that punishes poisoned opponents. Goliath Hatchery. This one creates 2 toxic creatures when it enters, helping you apply pressure. And if an opponent is corrupted, you can choose a creature you control and draw cards equal to its toxic value. It's a strong way to turn poison-focused creatures into steady card advantage. Infectious Inquiry. You draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life, and you give each opponent a poison counter. Just a solid way to refill your hand while also ramping up the poison pressure. Moldervine Reclamation. Whenever a creature you control dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. It's very reliable because we have a lot of very small creatures in this deck. Knight's Whisper. A simple but reliable card draw spell. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Great for refilling your hand when you need the options. Pact of the Serpent. You get to choose a creature type and draw X cards and lose X life based on how many of that type you have. It's a powerful draw spell, especially since we have plenty of Phyrexians in this deck. Painful Truths. You get to draw X cards and lose X life, where X equals the number of colors of mana you spent. It's pretty scalable because it helps you refill your hand, potentially up to 5 cards, especially for stealing lands from our opponents. Phyrexian Arena. This one is just a classic enchantment that draws you an extra card each upkeep at the cost of 1 life. Just really keeps the card advantage rolling. Sometimes you just need something gone. From creatures, enchantments, artifacts, planeswalkers, you name it. This deck packs flexible answers that can help us clear the way to make sure that our poison gets through. Atomize. This one lets you destroy any non-land permanent, but it gives you the added benefit of proliferating. Great for protecting your poisonous plan while ramping up some more counters. Beast Within. This one, a classic green removal, destroys any permanent at instant speed. Drown and Ichor. It's just overall a cheap creature kill spell that also allows you to proliferate. So it takes out threats while it advances your poison strategy. Generous Gift is the same as Beast Within, just in mono white. Stroke of Midnight. Just another great way of taking out a problematic but non-land permanent. And all they get back is a 1/1 human token. Vraska's Fall. This one forces each opponent to sacrifice a creature or planeswalker, and it gives them a poison counter. It's a great way to disrupt the opponent's boards, but give you the benefit of giving them another poison counter. White Sun's Twilight. A powerful board wipe if you spend 5 or more mana on X. I would honestly save this for when you need it most. Since this is a poison deck, Ixhel attracts attention fast, and poison creatures don't tend to live very long. That's where our protection or recursion steps in, keeping key threats safe or bringing them back when they do fall. Fog is a one-time protection that can stop a board swing or save your poison creatures from blockers. Sometimes it's necessary in a worst-case moment. Geth Summons is a powerful sorcery that lets you return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, but its corrupted ability allows you to return additional creatures from opponents' graveyards if they have 3 or more poison counters, making it a potent tool for board development and leveraging your opponent's resources. Holy Day is pretty much fog. It allows you to prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Just another defensive tool to protect your creatures or prevent lethal damage to you during important turns. Necrogen Communion. I would attach this to Ixhel herself. It gives her the ability to bounce back when she dies, but it also makes sure that you get a little bit more toxic in. Swiftfoot Boots is just another overall great equipment piece for Ixhel. It offers hexproof, which can give protection from targeted removal, and offers haste. Unnatural Restoration lets you return any permanent from your graveyard to your hand, and then it proliferates. It's a great way to recycle key pieces. With 3 colors to manage and a commander that really benefits coming out into the battlefield earlier, we need ways to fix our mana and speed things up. These cards help us get the colors that we need, play our bigger threats quicker, and keep the pressure on without missing a beat. As for the lands, our mana base is built to be consistent and reliable across all 3 colors. There's a mix of basics, filter lands, and utility lands just to kind of keep things smooth with just enough variety to support the deck without slowing us down. And that is it for this Poisonous Commander deck. If you liked this video, like, comment, and subscribe to join the fairest community in all of Magic's Gathering. Until next time, stay toxic!